What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy JB, and I'm back at it again with another interview on the African fighters. And today we have this is a record-breaking interview because we have our first female guest on the show, and this
Oh,
person, yeah, this person is a mixed martial artist, but originally with a very strong base in BJJ, probably the most experienced BJJ practitioner in Nigeria. She started her pro debut in MMA just 4 months ago, guys. 4 months ago, and she is already 3-0 in the beloved sports of MMA. That's none other than Chi Attoh. Chi Attoh, welcome to the show.
hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And that was a great intro. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. I guess nobody has put it for you that way before, right?
No one has ever done it that way. I can't believe that was all about me. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, well, thank you for honoring the interview. We are very, very blessed to have you here. So,
Oh, thank you.
without any further ado, I'm just gonna go straight into it. Can you please tell our fans, or not really our fans, our watchers or our viewers, a brief history about you? Where were you born? Where did you grow up, please? Thank you.
I sure can. My name is Chinonye Attoh. I was born in Lagos. And when I was about 6 years old, my family moved to Ireland. So I grew up in Ireland. And I started training jujitsu about 6 years ago. And from there, I started training MMA. And that brings me to where we are now.
All right, that's very well put. Yeah, so let me just pick up your topology. So you are currently 3-0. You've been very busy the whole month of March. You had
Yeah,
two MMA fights,
yeah.
two MMA victories as well. So
hmm
that's a very, very crazy schedule to have. In the past four
Yeah.
months, you've had three MMA fights. That means you had three fight camps. So, how would you say your
Mm.
your workflow is, or your training work life balance? How is it training for MMA now?
Well, actually, I've been training for MMA for the last 2 years. I've been seriously training since August. So I've literally been in fight camp since August last year. So I never, to me, it's just my lifestyle. It's just what I enjoy doing. So it's not even like a work life balance. It is my life. So it doesn't feel like I'm at work or anything like that. It just feels like I'm doing what I love to do and what I want to do and what I'm passionate about. So it's really easy for me to stay focused and keep training.
All right, all right. So I'm just gonna take it back to your BJJ. That is your bread and butter. That's your roots. That where it all started.
Yeah.
So what motivated you? Because I know. So the thing is, I understand African parents. Yeah, even though you were in Ireland, there might be a bit of friction, or I don't know really. You have to tell me. How was it like? You starting MMA and then you convincing your parents to let you go into it, or were they so very supportive at the beginning? I guess there's a lot of questions in there, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. So when I first started jujitsu, I was working a full-time job, and the more I got deeper into BJJ, I decided I didn't want to work anymore. So I actually told my parents that I was going to quit my job and pursue my dreams, and they were not happy at all. So when they learned that I was going to go into MMA, they were even more unhappy with my decisions. But now they're kind of getting used to it now. My mom is more supportive than my dad. My dad still doesn't really know that I fight MMA.
Whoa. Well, I guess that's about to change because, well, the sky is your limit. At this
Yeah,
point, you are 3-0. You would get pretty popular very, very soon. I would understand from their
yeah,
own point of view because, like in BJJ, there's no really striking to the face, right? And then your mom now, although
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
quite very
There's
it's very dangerous. I'm not saying it's easier to do, but what I'm saying is there's no punches to the face. That would maybe be a bit relaxing for your mom, but now understanding that you go into a sport where ground and pound is actually a skill, I would say I totally understand where she's coming from. But it's quite
yeah.
strange, not really strange. It's there's something that stands out from your record in your MMA is that you did most of your BJJ in Europe. You also were in
Mm.
AJP, that's Abu Dhabi Jiu-Jitsu, I don't know, tournament. What's that called?
Actually, I did not get to compete at the Abu Dhabi tour, sadly,
Yeah.
because I messed up and I missed the weigh-in, so they didn't let me compete.
So you were there, but you did not make weight.
Yeah, I went there.
Oh,
No,
that's
no, I made the weight. It's just I missed the weigh-in. I missed the actual
oh
weigh-in. I
oh.
got my times mixed up.
I see, I
So
see.
I was too late for the weigh-in, so I couldn't compete. I was really devastated.
Oh, that must be
But I
very
learned the lesson.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, I was disorganized. I
yeah.
didn't plan my
So
time properly.
it had nothing to do with African time, did it?
No, yeah, it was my own fault, my own African time. Over there, they don't do African time.
Of
Everything's
course,
punctual.
of
So I
course.
messed up. I did African time where there's no African time.
Yeah, okay, but well, I noticed that your three fights were all down here in Nigeria or in Africa per se. So, what made
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
decide to start your pro career? You live in Europe, you live in all that,
Yeah.
moving over here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would say there are
Hmm.
better. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are better striking coaches or striking gyms out there in Europe. Yeah, which
Mm.
obviously that would be something that you would want to add into your arsenal to get into MMA. But then you moving to Nigeria, starting your pro career over here, where
Mm.
what was your thought process like making that judgment?
So actually, I didn't quite move here specifically because of my pro career. What happened was, um, COVID really, I was living in Ireland and COVID was really bad there. So there was no training, everything was closed. So I came to Nigeria just for a visit and I was training and I really enjoyed it. So then I said, okay, I think I'm gonna move back here and start my own business and also just train. So when I got here, then I realized that the facilities here were pretty good and the coaching was also good. The level over in Ireland wasn't that much different to here. So that's why I decided to just train and then see if I could get any MMA fights. And my first MMA fight just happened to be a professional one. I wasn't looking for a professional one, I was more looking for amateur. But the first one that came just happened to be pro. So I said, okay.
Mm,
I
okay.
didn't actually really plan it.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to talk about your MMA fight because I think out of the three fights you had, only one of them were televised, and that's your debut on the AKO Fight Night show against Jane Osigwe. That is a fighter that you already know because you already defeated her earlier, and then
Yeah.
you guys met and you went 2-0 on her, and then a couple of weeks later you went out to fight in that Spirit of the Warriors, right? So, yeah, so how would you? I want to talk about AKO specifically because that's what we saw. Um, how
Hmm.
would you say the promotion treated you? How would you say your experience was there? And of course, getting to meet the pound for pound best fighter in the world in Kamaru Usman.
It was a really good experience, and AKO show took great care of us. They put us up in a nice hotel. They provided us with food and everything else we needed, and we also got to train at the camp. We got a photo shoot. They gave us equipment. It was, for me anyway, it was a good experience. I never experienced anything like that before. So I thought it was pretty good. The media, all the media that came along with it, though, was a bit of a shock. But I think all of the fighters just got on with it. And meeting Kamaru Usman was definitely the the best part of the whole experience. He was really down to earth.
Okay, okay. All right. And then what would you say? Because I remember I did a fight review of the whole fight card. I was just mentioning the things I saw through the lenses of the cameras, because obviously I wasn't live in there. I was watching a live stream. So speaking about your fight with Jane, there was
Mm,
there was a point that you kind of were like very high in mount. You were kind of getting ready to take a triangle, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
because obviously I am not as smart as you when it comes to BJJ. So and then I did not see you complete the triangle choke, and I was thinking to my in my to my own understanding, I was thinking, oh, there must be something that Jane is doing that is not making you complete it. But then
Yeah.
you came into our comment section, and then you explained you explained that she was pulling your top, and that can you just
Yeah.
explain to us um, if the obviously the shirt pulling and all that wasn't happening, how would would the fight have gone any different?
Oh, it would have definitely gone differently. Yeah, when you're in there, the all it takes is a split second to lose a position, or if you make a mistake, then everything could be over. So it just takes that one little second, and you could just lose everything. And that's what happened to me. I had the triangle perfectly on. I had the choke. I was applying the choke, and then she was pulling on my top. She was pulling it down. So I took my hand off of the choke, which released the pressure on the choke to fix my top, and then she was able to then kind of scramble a bit, so I couldn't get the tightness that I had before, and then I had to readjust and change the position. So that's what happened.
Okay, so obviously you've had two fights with Jane, 2-0 with her. Obviously, you would not want a trilogy because there's no point in that. Um, so
Yeah.
if the AKO now decides to obviously we insider scoop, they are planning to do another show in the summer. Well,
Oh,
obviously you would
wow!
want to
I
be
didn't
on.
know that.
Yeah, yeah. You would want to be on that card. I think they mentioned June or July. Cannot remember
Wow, that's
exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, that's very close. So, is there anybody out there in Nigeria that you would say you would want to match up with on that card if they come calling?
The only other MMA fighter I'm aware of that's a female in Nigeria is called Juliet, but I don't really know much else about her. I think she's actually gonna fight next week in Benin Republic. I saw it on Instagram, so that's how I know. Oh, and I saw that she's from Nigeria, so that's how I know that she's a Nigerian female fighter. But other than her, I don't know anyone else. So I guess it would be nice to fight her if she wants to fight. I would fight anyone, honestly. If they have to bring someone from a different country, then maybe that's what they're gonna have to do. But I would definitely love to be on the next AKO show.
So how comfortable would you say that you are on your feet now? Because obviously, when it comes to the ground game, it always goes one way, which mostly would be yours. But when it comes standing, yeah, striking, how confident are you with your striking? Because as you mentioned, you started MMA camp in August just last year. That's barely a
Yeah,
year from now. So
yeah.
so how would
Yeah.
you say again? How comfortable are you with the stand-up game?
I've actually been working on my stand up for the last 3 or 4 years, I would say. Not as much as jujitsu, but since last August, or for before COVID, I was really working on my stand up because I actually fought kickboxing while I was in Ireland. I have two kickboxing fights. So it's not that I'm not comfortable on the stand up, it's just obviously grappling. I really honestly love grappling so much. I love jujitsu, so I always want to do what I love and what I know I'm good at. So I think that also kind of makes me doubt myself in my stand-up game when I'm confident, when I say, okay, I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna go for it. I actually do pretty well. So in my last few MMA fights, I guess I haven't had that confidence in my stand up, but I'm hoping in time the confidence is going to come back because I'm working so hard. I'm training every single day, twice a day, working on stand up. So I'm hoping that I can get that confidence back pretty soon.
All right, all right. I believe you. I believe you. Well, I guess I have another question about your future in the whole sports of MMA, because I can see that obviously BJJ is still a thing. You could always go back, get maybe in a BJJ tourney anytime you're back in in Europe per se. But like in
Yeah.
MMA
Mhm.
in MMA right now, how do you see your future going? Are you looking to fight out of the country at the moment, or are you just content with staying home and fighting at home?
I would love to fight out of the country. I'm also happy to stay home. I think the ideal situation for me would be to maybe do some training camps outside the country if I have to fight outside the country, but I would always return home.
Okay, okay,
I wouldn't want to live outside the country. I want my base to be here. I want to
mm,
be an MMA fighter fighting out of Nigeria.
okay. So speaking about fighting from home and all of that, my question I guess was I was trying to understand if are there any talks recently about you fighting elsewhere or
Oh, no, nothing really has come up
okay.
recently, but we're hoping we'll get some opportunities soon.
All right. So whenever anything comes up, please do let us know so we could push that agenda for you because we are following your
Okay.
career very closely. We are well, my co-host, which is Farouk, and myself, were very huge fans of yourself and what you do.
Oh, thank you
And
so much. I love
you,
your podcast. I'm a huge fan too.
all right,
You guys are
yeah.
doing really well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, it's a podcast for casuals, banned by casuals. So speaking.
No, you guys are not casuals. You guys know your stuff. You guys really know your stuff.
Thank you, thank you. That's very, very, very flattering. But just a last question. What should your
Yeah.
fans, or what should your fans or viewers, what should they expect from you in the coming months?
They should expect more stand up to come. I'm definitely going to keep working on it and keep improving my stand up. But they know me as, the BJJ girl, the grappler girl. So that's also always going to be there. And a lot of my fans have actually told me that they love the jujitsu. So they can definitely expect more jujitsu. I'm always working on my grappling. I'm working on my wrestling too. So I'm just working on being a well-rounded MMA fighter. I don't want to be just known as a grappler. I want my stand-up to be equally as good as my grappling, so they can expect to see those improvements the
Mm.
more comfortable I get in the cage and the more opportunities I get in the cage.
Hey, so this is a question for myself. I was just wondering out of curiosity. Have there
Yeah.
been any fighter back home who had like approached you and kind of asked to learn from your experience from BJJ? So like maybe showing them some positions and switches and all of that. Has there been anybody who was trying to pick on your brain?
Yeah, there's definitely been a fighter that's been asking me to train him. Should I expose him?
Yes, please. This is an insider scoop.
His
Let's
name
go.
his name is the Smiling Assassin.
A smiling assassin. Ooh,
Yeah, Jaquel Hayana.
yeah, what's up, Jackal? Can you say hello?
What?
Okay, is he shy? Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, he's shy.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess he's probably helping you out with the striking, helping him with the BJJ. So, uh,
Yeah, exactly. We're helping each other.
all right, all right. That's all right. That's all good. So, lastly. the fighters out, the fight fans out there, if they want to see you, how can they reach you? What social media plugs do you have out there?
They can reach me on Instagram. It's I am Chi underscore MMA. That's the main social media platform that I use for now.
Okay, great. And there's no Facebook, no Twitter, no nothing.
No, I only have my personal Facebook for friends and family, and
Oh, got
Twitter,
it.
I don't use Twitter. No.
Got it. Got it. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Chi. Oh, and one more thing. I am so sorry. I keep on saying one more. If you just
No
could
problem.
just give us a cheap plug and be like, "Yo, guys, this is the Triangle Queen, Chi Attoh, and you're watching the African Fighters."
Yeah, no problem. Hey guys, this is Babyface, aka Triangle Queen, and you're watching the African Fighters.
Right, thank you. Bang on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is Chi Attoh, uh, rising Nigerian MMA fighter. And well, if you have any comments or whatever, you could drop in the comment section. She would gladly reply. I know she is in the comment sections as well.
Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm always looking for new African MMA content.
Yeah,
I'll reply to everything.
yeah, and
You'll get
yeah.
sick of me replying.
All right, there you go, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and the African Eye Fighters, we out.
Come on, Africans!
Thank you so
Come
much.
on,